It's December. Hurricane season officially ended days ago. Or did it? What's up, guys? I'm meteorologist Jonathan Kegas. If you're new here, we talk and track all things weather. In this video, we are going to break down the potential for a rare December tropical storm, maybe getting up into hurricane strength. Either way, there is going to be a massive storm in the North Atlantic Ocean. It's all going to be semantics, whether it does acquire tropical characteristics or subtropical characteristics. We're going to break that down for you over the next couple of minutes. Well, this is weird. It's December 5th, and we're talking about the potential anyway for tropical development over the next couple of days. For perspective, here is where we are. This is the Caribbean. This is going to be north of the Caribbean, where we're watching this big cloud mass here. You see it already has a swirl on there, and over the next couple of days, this could take on tropical characteristics. Now, in the short term, this is not going to impact land. I do want you to pay attention, though, if you're watching in from the western Azores especially. We'll get into that in a couple of minutes. I would love to know where you guys are tuning in from. Please post that in the comments below. Also, if you are enjoying this video, I would love it if you give it a thumbs up. It really does help us out a lot. Now, tropical development in December, it's certainly rare. It's not impossible. It's happened before. The European is certainly suggesting that we will have a tropical storm. You see that orange color there. Those are the probabilities greater than 80% that we will have a tropical storm develop before the upcoming weekend. It's just crazy to say. We're in December. We're talking about blasts of cold through the United States, and here we go. Still very warm waters in the central Atlantic, contributing to the potential anyway for maybe tropical storm Owen over the next couple of days. So the first question that comes to mind is, are the waters even warm enough out there? And they are. They still are above normal or hanging around 80 degrees. This is about the area that our system is in, and our estimated water temperature there is 80 degrees. Again, this little speck on your screen, that is Bermuda. Here is the Caribbean again down here. The system, regardless of if it gets going or not tropically, is still going to be a very large system. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a couple of minutes, but there's a very short window over the next 48 hours or so where we could see this thing take on tropical characteristics to become a named storm as we go through the middle of the week. Watch the pressure drop with this. Again, we are going to be focused on this big number here. You see the 997 millibars. The lower the pressure, the stronger the storm. So watch what happens as we turn the trusty telestration off and go forward into the future with you guys. Look at this. You see it go lower. 990 millibars, that big, bold number there. 979 millibars. At this point, it still looks like it could be fully tropical, a completely warm core system, as we call it. And then it's eventually going to lose its tropical characteristics and become a very powerful subtropical system or extratropical system. I want to show you for reference here. I mentioned about land not being impacted until very late in its life. This is going to be on Friday morning now. And again, heads up in the Azores. Regardless of if we take a direct strike from this, it is going to be a very powerful system. So we come back over here to go forward in time again, and you see that getting even stronger as it kind of merges with another system. 962 millibars, 954 millibars. Again, the wind is going to be strong. This is a very strong storm. The wind field, I mean, we're talking about most of the Azores being impacted by at least tropical storm force wind gusts. And certainly the further west you are, the stronger this storm is going to impact you. That was the European. This is the GFS solution, and tells a very similar story. A massive wind field here. Again, the lines, the isobars that are very tightly packed, meaning that we have a very strong storm with very strong winds. And again, the pressure down to 952 here again is where the Azores are. So we're going to have to pay attention. Again, all other land masses are going to be spared from this. But again, regardless if this remains a tropical storm, maybe even a hurricane, I think by this point, though, we're talking about it losing its tropical characteristics. So it's just going to be a very, very powerful storm. Check out some of these wave heights. It's pretty much generating waves all through the Atlantic Ocean. This is how powerful this storm is going to be. The yellow here representing where we have 12-foot waves. And you see how far south, again, here are the Caribbean islands, the east coast of the United States. Some big swells coming into Florida, the Carolinas, the rip current risk. Again, even with a storm that is way out here is going to be huge. Some of the wave heights, though, right tightly packed to the center of this thing. You see the darker deep purple here? Those are wave heights of greater than 40 feet. And we could see wave heights of 50 feet plus as this drifts into the North Atlantic. So again, even if we don't take a direct hit in the Azores, which again are right in here, we are going to get huge breaking waves to a tune of maybe 20 to 30 feet. Again, in the island chain. Just crazy. We are talking about winter and crazy cold outbreaks in the United States, and we are having this tropical system potentially get going in the abnormally warm waters of the central Atlantic. We're going to keep a close eye on this for our friends in the Azores. Again, everywhere else we can just kind of watch and wonder in awe here as we have this rare tropical development in December continuing. Speaking of December, tomorrow, this is going to come out on Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the chances that places across the lower 48 of the United States that have the opportunity to see a white Christmas, of course, a few weeks away from Christmas, but there are signs pointing to who could see the white stuff on Christmas morning. We're going to get into that on Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, again, please give this a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We talk and track all things weather. Again, I would love to know where you are watching from. Post that in the comments below.